I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'd be totally okay if they just completely revamped the Huge Materia Quest and remake. I don't have any attachment to this, like, oh, it has to be this way or whatever. Like, they could do this much better. This feels like we needed to pad some time. I mean, it's still fine. Like, it's still fun, but, like, it felt like they needed the game to be a bit longer and they wanted to reuse other areas. So they just have you return to a couple areas and do little things. This doesn't feel like it's mandatory for the story or anything, you know? Like, you could remove this entirely and it would be fine. It would just be a shorter game. Like, if they removed this completely from the original game, then yeah, the game would be, like, a bit short and I would miss it. But, like, if you replaced this with something else, I wouldn't miss it. The only part that's important is the rocket, yeah. Which, obviously, that's still going to happen. Yeah, I actually kind of agree. I think the idea behind this was, like, kind of similar to Final Fantasy VI, where, like, Armageddon is coming and you're going around to the old places and experiencing life before Armageddon. But, like, other than a few NPCs that are like, the world is ending, the world is ending, you don't really get that feeling as much. At least not in my opinion. Like, yeah, the music is dark and there's a meteor in the sky, but everything else still feels like normal, I guess. Like, I don't know. I don't get the same, like, Armageddon feel. This part just kind of feels like a big side quest. It doesn't have the same effect as, like, World of Ruin, where it's like everything's destroyed, the whole world map is different, and, like, you know, all the old locations have been completely transformed. Like, doesn't have that same effect. Like, you can go to Costa del Sol, and other than, there's, like, 2 or 3 people that are like, the world's ending. And other than that, everyone's just chilling, you know? Doesn't have, like, the same vibe. Yeah, like, obviously, the rocket is important for many reasons. But the rest of this, it's like you could change. You could do something with Wutai, since they've built up Wutai a lot more in the remake. Or you could just do something totally different, and I wouldn't complain. And I think they will. I think it'll feel much more apparent that meteor is coming in part 3 than in this one where the skybox just changes. I think maybe it would have been better if, like, some of the world map transformed, you know? But, like, that wouldn't make sense, because Meteor's coming, but it hasn't gotten here yet. It's not like World of Ruin, where Armageddon actually happened. Like, you know. Maybe, like, if after the rocket scene, some of the parts of the meteor that broke off, like, hit the world, like Pneumatic said. Like, maybe not right away, but maybe after the rocket. Oh, I forgot to put on Elemental. I might die. Oh, I'm definitely dead. Oh, I'm super mega dead. There's no way. Quake's gonna annihilate me. I don't even have sadness. I'm giga dead. So, the way that the characters describe it is, they're like, I think someone actually says, I think Sid maybe says it. Somebody says, like, why not let him? And I think Cloud is like, the huge materia is too strong for Shinra to have. Like, we can't let them have it. They'll screw it up. But I've said before, like, there is a weird kind of, like, discussion to be had about whether or not the party is actually doing the right thing. Because there is another universe where, like, you let Shinra get all 4 huge materia pieces and put them all in the rocket, and it actually blows up the meteor. With just 1 huge materia or 0 huge materia, it blows up part of the meteor. So, like, in an alternate timeline, you could make the argument that, like, the party actually screwed it up. Could you imagine? Shinra saves the planet from meteor and then, like, just continues to destroy the planet. And no one can even, like, be mad at him anymore because they're like, well, you saved the planet, so... We had a cool discussion about that once. Like, is materia life stream energy crystallized over hundreds of years? Or is it ancient, like, knowledge that they, like, put into the life stream that makes it crystallize? Like, is it the ancients that created materia, or is that just a natural cycle of the planet? R.I.P. Sid. Well, Sephiroth explains it. Sephiroth explains it, but we don't know if he's, like, 100% correct. That was Gast's theory that he explains. So we don't really know for sure. We know that it crystallizes over hundreds of years, but did the ancients, like, put their knowledge into it to make it work that way? Or is it just the planet? That's how the planet works. And then the extension of that is are the summons ancients? Was that like their ancient war? Like is Ifrit like some ancient warrior who like put himself in a materia? Is the Knights of the Round like the 13 warriors that defeated Genova? Or wait, isn't it 11? Is it 11 or 13? I always get it mixed up with Knights of the Round and Omni Slash. I think Knights of the Round is 13 and Omni Slash is 11, I think. Or maybe they're both 13. I don't know. Why can't Genova make her own materia? Well, she's an alien. She don't work like our planet works. Well, she might. See my Genova theory in the Sephiroth in-depth video. Omni Slash is 15. Okay. +2, not -2. Yeah, I agree. Especially with the ending, too. I love that there's no definitive answer. I think, like, in order for this game's themes to work, you kind of have to have an ending that is up in the air. Which is why, like, I'm glad that they continued to make Final Fantasy VII content. I'm glad that we got, you know, Dirge of Cerberus and Advent Children and stuff, but at the same time, I love to look at Final Fantasy VII as just a single game. The original canon that the original writers thought up of. Because it's really cool to think about, like, there's so many themes of this game of, like, people giving their opinions on things and their, like, theories. And whether or not, you know, like the arguments between Barrett and Cait Sith and how they're like, Barrett's like, Shinra's evil because they don't care about people, they only care about themselves and they're destroying the planet. And Cait Sith is like, well, you're killing people to defend the planet, so like, are you even in the right? And like, they go back and forth. And so like, for those themes to work, you kind of have to have the finale where we don't actually know if the planet rescued humanity or not. Because that's what makes the whole thing interesting, is that we don't really know if Barrett or Cait Sith are correct. Like, in a way, Barrett is kind of correct. Like, you have to stop Shinra or else the entire planet dies. But the things that Cait Sith say aren't necessarily wrong either. You know, and the way that like Tifa talks to Barrett and says like, there's got to be a better way to do this and stuff, like, all these themes really hit home when you get to the end of the game and Barrett isn't just 100% right, you know? Like, if Barrett was just right and the planet just, you know, imagine if this game had some like Disney ending where like the live stream comes in and stops Meteor, and then it like revives all the people that died defending the planet, and like all the people that died in the reactor bombing like come back to life, and it's like, Barrett, you did it. You were the chosen one. To save the planet, and now all the wrongs you did are now righted. Like, it would screw with a lot of the themes of the game, and like, it wouldn't make as much sense. But the fact that we get that, we don't know at the end, like, did we do the right thing by the planet? That's what makes it interesting. And then you go back and you play through the game again and you listen to the conversations that people have with Barrett and you're like, I don't know who's right here. Like, yeah, Barrett's right, but at the same time he's wrong. And even Barrett admits it when he talks to Elmira. He's like, I don't know what I'm fighting for anymore. Like, I just know I have to. All I really care about is saving Marlene, and if the planet dies, Marlene dies, so I'm fighting. That's basically what he comes up with. But he's even questioning his own morals. He doesn't know if what he's doing is right, but all he cares about is saving Marlene. So he does what needs to be done. And so it wouldn't make sense to have an ending where it's like, you know, Barrett was right all along, and this whole adventure was worth it. Like, you know. That's what makes it all kind of work. And I think that one of the best parts of this game that is commonly overlooked is the speech that Cloud has right before they go to the North Crater, where he tells all the party members to find what they're fighting for. And it's so cool how everyone has a different reason. You know, like with a lot of the Final Fantasy endings, a lot of the characters are just kind of there at that point. Like, they've already done their story, and now they're just like, well, I guess I'll save the planet. Like, especially Final Fantasy IX, as much as I love Final Fantasy IX, it does kind of become like Zaidane's story at the end, and everyone else is just kind of there like, well, the planet's going to end if we don't help him, so I guess we'll help him. Like, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Like, they do love Zaidane and want to help him, but in general, like, there's no reason for, like, half the characters to be there other than Zaidane. You know? Same with Final Fantasy VIII. Like, in the end, they're kind of like, well, I like the planet. I don't want the planet to end. So let's do this thing. And so it's cool how in this game there's this moment where he's like, go out there, find out what you're fighting for, and if you don't find it, don't come back. And then everyone comes back, and everyone has a reason, you know? And, like, it's twofold. For one, it makes it feel like the characters are meant to be there, but for two, they kind of say, like, if you don't have a motivation, you're not going to be able to beat Sephiroth, which just makes Sephiroth feel even stronger. Like, Sephiroth is not the type of guy that we can just defeat because we want to save the planet. Like, we have to have something that we're so motivated by that we give it our all, or else there's no way we're going to be able to beat Sephiroth, you know? He's too powerful for us to just be like, we want to save the planet. You know, we got to be fighting for Marlene. We got to be fighting for revenge. We got to be fighting for our loved ones. Like, we need that extra sauce to defeat Sephiroth because he's so strong. Also, it still blows my mind that you can open the menu here. There's no reason to, but it's really goofy that you can. I believe you can in both spots where it zooms in on Tifa. Right? Yep. It's so weird. Put that in the remake. Oh, Reeve has a really cool reason for coming back, because, like, out of all the characters, he's one of the ones that's proven the most that he actually cares about human life. He was in, like, one of the hardest scenarios, you know. He's in a room with 6 other people that are willing to throw everyone under the bus, and he has to be the one that stand up for himself. That's the hardest way to... I mean, when you're... It's easy to be like, I'm gonna save the planet when no one's disagreeing with you, but when everyone else is got an agenda and you have to be the one to stand up to say no, like, that's the hardest time to do it. You're one of the most powerful people on the planet, and you have to throw all that away to save the citizens, who you may not even be able to save. Everyone else has, like, a personal vendetta, but Reeve, like, he was fine where he was. He had to go the extra mile to save people, you know? Not all of us would do that if we were in his position. Yeah, one of the only songs in the game that's only played in one spot. Reeve has some cool backstory in the extended lore. In the compilation, they talk about Reeve a lot. He's a big part of On the Way to a Smile, Denzel's whole story, as well as, like, Before Crisis. So they have a lot to grab from if they wanted, or they could just make up new stuff. I think he was just really good at his job, from what I've seen, but I don't know if there's ever a... I mean, he was loyal, so... One of my favorite localization things, you know it if you watched my Chrono in depth, but Chrono from Chrono Trigger, his element in Chrono Trigger in Japan is supposed to be holy, but when it got translated over to English, Nintendo didn't like that because back then they hated everything even remotely religious. Like early 2000s, late 90s, Nintendo was like super heavy-handed with censorship when it came to religion. So they changed it to lightning. And then when the Steam version came out, you know, obviously we're less heavy-handed with that kind of stuff now. So they changed it not to holy, but they changed it to light. Which is like so clever, because if you played it in Japanese and knew that it was holy, then light and holy go hand in hand. And if you played it as a kid and saw it as lightning, then when you saw light, you'd be like, okay, that fits. Light, lightning. So it like covers both bases at once. It's like, that's pretty clever. I forget. He gets life, and then he gets his big spell, which is like a holy bomb. I don't remember if he gets any like lightning moves. I think he just looks like lightning, but I don't remember. It's an interesting thought. I was thinking about that when we played this before. How it hits the epic part right here. In my In-Depth the Cloud video, I talked about how, like, this theme is kind of, like, transformed into Cloud's theme. And that is why it plays here, but also, I think they wanted that big finale for that part. So, like, it's probably both. But that's an interesting thought. Like, that's why it plays the random note, it seems, when he takes his helmet off. Because it was just setting that up. Okay, so he does get Lightning 1 and 2. I couldn't remember. Is that the same in Japanese, though? Or was that translated? Yeah, for sure. Like, they definitely set it up that way. Yeah, even in Japanese, you can't really change what the animations look like, so that's weird. I mean, that's probably why they called it lightning. In English, they were like, well, it looks like lightning, so... so that works. In Japanese, it's thunder. So yeah, that makes sense as to why they went with lightning. I look forward to this scene in Remake, like this part where Tifa's just like, oh, okay. Where's Cloud? Oh, okay. I'm asleep now. I'm gonna take a nap. Alright, we finally made it. Can finally get back to business. But we do have one more thing we have to do before we can start. Well, I guess this is part of the master plan, but start the messing things up. And that is we need to go get another gold chocobo. And we still cannot race. Because we need to keep Gold Saucer in its state that it's in. Yeah, for now, this is fine. So, time for more resetting. Actually, need to make some money. I didn't see that. That's my magic plus. Okay. So, how much money we got? 60K. So I don't need much. Just need a little bit of money. I think I bought some stuff in Medial. That's why we were like broke last time. I actually don't, but I can go get one. I can go get one right now. Oh my... yeah. Crippling crack addiction. Hate to see it. I'll pull up my guide here. Yeah, let's go grab that before I forget. Could have grabbed one on Mount Coral when we went through. No, we couldn't. You get that from falling, and the thing's already broken. Oh, they're not here. We gotta do it when we go back in time. So they do disappear at some point. Do they disappear when you do Cosmo Canyon, maybe? Like past Cosmo Canyon? I'm not sure when they leave. They go to the Galnica, yes, but I don't know when. Because we don't have the... We don't have the sub yet. After the date scene. When did Square switch from using suffixes to numbers? Well, it's the other way around. They used numbers first. Then they started using Ara, Aga in 8? Or I guess they went back and forth because some of the retro games have suffixes. But I think 8 is when they permanently stopped using numbers. (14) uses numbers? Yeah, but is 14 a Final Fantasy game? I'm farming comments. Is it working? I'm farming YouTube comments. Is it working? One more. Wait, do any of the OG retros have suffixes? Or only the Pixel remasters and then 3DS? Because in that case, then those don't count. Because if that's the case, then 8's the first. So yeah, what I said was right then. 8 was the first, and it was numbers before that. Let's just go back to Final Fantasy I, where all the spells made no sense and didn't work right anyways. Yeah, you ever want to have a laugh, go to like the Final Fantasy 1 wiki and look up the spells. Like half of them are like, well, they were supposed to do this, but actually they do the opposite. Well, it was supposed to do this, but instead it just does nothing at all. I don't know how many of those they actually fixed for the Pixel Remaster, by the way. I'm not sure what the one Pixel Remaster is like in terms of that. Alright, we need some money. Poison Ring's a good 10k. Hypnocrown is nothing. Water Ring is a nice 5k. How many do I need? 70, right? $70 and one of those. Lit. My favorite spell. Thank you for being you. Thanks. In unrelated news, I'm changing my name to Dave. No particular reason. Just felt like it. So that'd be good for business. Dave the Italian. That's insane, dude. That's actually insane. Yeah, I'm gonna be a diver. Give me your nut, goblin. I don't have all day. This is definitely Dobby. He does look very Dobby-ish. Kind of a weird resemblance. think it would have been faster to go get the sneak glove. But then also the sneak glove barely helps, so it wouldn't have been faster. Zeo Nut. Isn't that the villain from Kingdom Hearts? Yes. The evil Zeo Nut. I cried when Zeo Nut killed Mickey Mouse. Can't even kill him, he's too powerful. It is truly crazy how quickly you can get a gold chocobo doing this. Good thing I remembered. Good thing he's there and I could see him in my periph. Good old Boot Island. We used to call this Boot Island as a kid because it looks like a boot. It does kind of look like Italy. Or Florida. I knew he was Italian. Oh, cool, I'm fighting nothing. Oh. That was very odd. Like, there was a bunch of times before where the enemy was there and it took forever for us to spawn in, but there was just nothing there for like 3 seconds. It's been doing good today. Knock on wood. It's actually been performing very well today. Doggo versus Doggo. Who will win? Is this Red 13's dad? Asking for a friend. Actually, we know his dad. Maybe his grandpa? Your audio is desynced. Is it just you? Is everyone else's audio okay? Can't be he's not wearing jeans. True. Everybody knows the Red 13 line. All wear jeans except Red 13 because he's not old enough yet. He hasn't earned his jeans. When Red 13 turns 100, he has to go through a trial. A gene trial. Trial by Denim. Oh, it actually worked. I paralyzed him and got the steal. That does not increase your chances. I wish it did. Alright. Oh, right. We gotta get our chocobos first. I forgot. We gotta get the chocobos. Alright, let me run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll get our chocobos.